Good morning. We did just get in a 9 o'clock advisory. Typically, they don't initiate these hour-by-hour advisories until the storm officially makes landfall, but we are already starting to see some impacts from it, and we are now getting advisories hour by hour. Storm currently about 40 miles south-southeast of Grand Isle. Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds at 150 miles per hour. It is forecast to strengthen to have winds near 155. Goes any higher than that, we're going to be dealing with a Category 5 hurricane upon landfall. This track is locked in. We are out of time. There will be no more wiggling back and forth. This will be moving through the Baton Rouge area. I know this has a number 1 on it, and I don't want to hear the phrase only a Category 1 because this is going to be extremely significant for all the folks in the path of the storm, which does include the WBRZ viewing area. Here's what it looks like out on the satellite at this time. Just a massive storm with massive rain bands expanding all the way out through the Florida Panhandle. If we zoom it in on the local radar, here's what we can see. These rain bands are continuing to move from east to west. A couple of heavy downpours for our area at this time. All of the yellow highlighted parishes and counties, these are all under tornado watches. This is including Tangipahoa Parish as well as Pike County, and I've noticed probably 7 or 8 now. This is a tornado warning out here along the Alabama and Mississippi coast. It's going to mainly be a concern for those folks out there, but we are going to be dealing with these rain bands, and it is possible we could see some tornadoes in our area as well. Here's where the heaviest rain is now, moving through St. Helena Parish, and we'll be moving through the Felicianas here pretty soon. Areas on the North Shore should be drying up for a little while as this continues to push through our area. Folks on deck will be the New Road, St. Francisville area, and of course Mississippi counties will be shortly after that. Here's the futurecast. Bear with me as we go through this. We may get a couple of hours of dry time as these rain bands move in and out before landfall. Even if things dry out, even if you see a peak of sunshine, that does not mean things are changing, and we will not be in the clear until way further in the day on Monday. So stay put, be where you need to be, where your intended location is to ride out this storm very, very soon. Around 1 o'clock, we're expecting that landfall somewhere between Houma and Grand Isle. After that, that's when the winds and, of course, the very heavy rains will be making it through the Baton Rouge area. Timeline about 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. is when things will get very rough for us. The heaviest rain is expected to be further to the east, and all the winds will extend all the way through our area as well. I'll be tracking out those specifics for you, but let's just look at this timeline really quick. 4:30, still seeing lots of rain in our area. By the time the sun comes up on Monday, that's when things will start to clear up, but by 1 p.m. some areas still dealing with rain. By the very end of the day on Monday, things should start to clear up significantly. In terms of rainfall totals, 6 to 12 inches of rain will be possible for areas mainly east of Baton Rouge. That being said, this amount of rain in a 12 to 18, 24-hour period is manageable. It will be a little bit overwhelming, but we should be able to handle it considering that a lot of our levels at this time in terms of creeks and rivers are pretty low. If this does happen in a shorter amount of time, which is possible, even likely for some isolated areas, that's where we will see flooding become a problem, and flash flood warnings will be issued at that time if it does become a problem. Make sure you have a way to receive warning information. Best thing you can do during a flash flood is just do not get in your car and drive. If you end up out on flooded roadways, then those first responders will have to put their lives at risk in order to save yours. Here's a quick look at what is happening on all of the rivers right now. Nothing is in flood stage at this time. However, all the rivers are forecast to rise come Wednesday and Thursday, likely going to see some flood stages at that point for all of the rivers in the area. Arrival time of the winds, all of these are going to show up 100%, so we're really just looking at timing here. Sustained winds over 39, that's tropical storm force winds. This is 11 o'clock today. We'll start to see some weaker winds moving in, but by around 1 o'clock, Ascension Parish further south having sustained winds at 40 miles per hour or higher. It is not safe to drive at that point. Areas further to the north will start to see this moving in closer to 5 o'clock. Baton Rouge coming in 77%. That's nearly a guarantee, and everybody guaranteed by the time the sun goes down to have these very, very strong winds. I'm going to do another full breakdown of all the winds, and we'll track it out parish by parish as much as possible coming up here in about 10 minutes.
Now, your WBRZ weather forecast with meteorologist Marissa Nuzzo.
Here's what it looks like outside right now. We have some heavy downpours moving in through this northern rain band. I'll just let this play out a couple of times. It's moving pretty quickly. General motion coming in from west to east. Now, all of these yellow areas out here, those are all tornado watches, and I've seen about 7 or 8 tornado warnings coming in on the Mississippi and Alabama coast. Possible something like that could happen in the WBRZ viewing area. Keeping a close eye on it, especially out at Tangipahoa and Pike County at this time. Here's where the heavy downpours are. We saw Dana outside with downpour over her head. These are going to continue to move off to the north and to the west. So the Feliciana's on deck to see some rain. Heavy downpour right now happening in Zachary, moving up toward Point Capee, New Road, St. Francisville. Mississippi counties come in after that. There's currently an extreme wind warning out for these areas down here highlighted in pink for winds up to 150 miles per hour inland. That's until 10:45, and that's when those winds are either going to weaken slightly or lift further to the north. So we'll be tracking that very closely. Here's what the winds look like right now. We're already seeing wind gusts in Baton Rouge in the 20s up to 24 miles per hour, 25 out in Hammond. See all this purple here? That has knocked out all of our wind sensors, so I'm not getting any information. But I've had several reports from the Weather Service coming in near Grand Isle with wind gusts well over 100 miles per hour already happening out there. Here is your chance of winds. This is going to show up as 100, but I just want to use this as a timer for you. This is 11 o'clock where this will be slowly moving in south of Baton Rouge. By the time we hit 1 p.m., by the time we're reaching landfall, sustained winds, that means constantly winds moving near 40 miles per hour, will be moving through Ascension Parish, approaching Baton Rouge if it's not already there. And then after landfall, that will become much more certain. By 5 o'clock, I would expect to start seeing those maximum sustained winds at 40 miles per hour, potentially higher. Now, what does that mean in terms of hurricane force winds? Well, here's what we're looking at in terms of winds over 100 or over 75 miles per hour. Again, these are sustained. We could potentially have gusts higher than this. This is why we were telling you to be prepared to be without power. By 5 o'clock, we'll start to see those hurricane force winds approaching our southernmost parishes and likely moving just east. So out by Livingston Parish, Hammond, even parts of EBR could be seeing sustained winds constant for a minute or longer at 75 miles per hour in the overnight hours. If this becomes a very dangerous situation, an extreme wind warning will be issued for your parish. What you should do at that time is treat it as a tornado warning. Go to the most interior room of your house, stay away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. A small closet, maybe a bathroom without a window. Those are really good, safe places to go in the event that that does happen. This is going to be happening all overnight as well, so keep that in mind. We'll be dealing with this all throughout the night, and it's important to stay weather aware. Keep your devices charged up while we still have power, so you do have a way to receive those warnings as they come through. There's a lot of information in this map, so we're going to do this coming up here in just a little bit. We'll track this out and get a parish by parish, location by location estimate on those winds and those arrival times. But for now, we'll send things back to the desk. Here's the latest forecast track. We have one from 9 o'clock. Typically, they don't start issuing these 1-hour updates until landfall, but since so many areas already starting to see impacts, we'll continue to get updates every hour at the top of the hour. So as of 9 o'clock, 150 mile per hour sustained winds. You can see by the end of the afternoon or before landfall, we are expecting this storm to become, to get those winds up to 155. And if those winds go any higher than 155, we will be dealing with a Category 5 hurricane upon landfall. The stronger it gets, the longer it takes to weaken. And I know that says Category 1, but that is still a major, major problem for the WBRZ viewing area. I know Dr. Josh and Jake have gone over this graphic with you guys many, many times at this point. I'll just put all of this out here. You can read whatever you need to know. One thing I will tell you, charge your mobile devices. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we lose power. So now is the time to make sure that you have everything charged up and you are ready to go. If the power does go out, we will still be going, and we will continue to bring you up-to-date information on WBRZ.com through our news apps and weather apps as well. One major thing I want to remind everyone is to avoid driving. I would say probably now is the time that you need to be off the roads before noon at the absolute latest. Stay home, stay in one place. That's one of really the best ways to keep you and your family safe. The tropical satellite showing just the absolute massive size of this storm with a very, very well-defined eye at the center. Here's what the radar looks like. You can see that rain coming in from the west to the east. A couple of heavy downpours just now making it through Livingston, continuing to push through the Baton Rouge area. Areas like Zachary, New Roads up in the Felicianas on deck for that first downpour. After that, there will be a little bit of a break. Now, all of these areas out here highlighted in yellow under a tornado watch. We'll add that to the list of things we're looking out for as we go through the rest of the morning hours. Here's what the sustained winds look like right now. New Orleans having 28-mile-per-hour winds, gusts in the 40s. This is only going to increase. So we'll go through this graphic. This is a lot of information. All these locations here. Pick the one that's closest to you, even in your parish. If your specific city is not on there, one close to you will be a good estimate. Things don't change that much varied on location, so parish by parish estimates will be pretty accurate for you. These are wind gusts, meaning that this will last maybe just a couple of seconds. Wind, these are sustained winds for 1 minute or longer. Timeline, as we get past landfall around 2 o'clock, we'll start to see winds picking up mainly for areas further south. Gonzales coming in with 57-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and as the eye continues to move further to the north, it's really not going to let up. This next timestamp is around 6 o'clock. This one is around 9 o'clock. We can see Baton Rouge coming in with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now, when we had Hurricane Delta last October, we did have wind gusts coming in the 40s and 50s, pretty widespread. The difference here is that this is likely going to last longer, and we will have gusts higher, especially for areas like Ascension, Southern Iberville, Assumption, St. James, and of course our folks down in Morgan City will be dealing with that as well. This is going to continue all night long as we go into the morning hours. This is 2 a.m. on Monday, still seeing wind gusts coming in Gonzales at 52, still coming in Baton Rouge close to 50 miles per hour. And again, this is happening over and over again. That timeline where things are going to be the worst, likely about 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. You need to be in the place now where you expect to ride out this storm. Stay put and stay informed. You can stay connected with us on our WBRZ weather app. Grab that news app as well. Facebook and Twitter, also a really good resource for us. Down at WBRZ.com/weather, we have the full weather blog, the full description of everything that we will be going through and all of the data as far as rainfall totals, as far as winds. It's all included there, and even a full breakdown of what to expect when it comes to river rise and storm surge. If you missed anything, we're going to continue this broadcast, and I'll continue to bring you updates throughout the rest of the morning and afternoon. The entire weather team is here for you, and we will get through this. I'll have another update coming up in just a bit. For now, back to the desk.